This video is about Mr. and Mrs. Yu's experience as Chinese immigrants in the US. They were born and grew up in the northeast of China and came to the US in their 20s. Here is their story.
We were both born in 1963, exact same year. That was interesting. And throughout our life, we pretty much grew up throughout the Cultural Revolution. And those were the years that are very different. We grew up listening to the official censored media. Only thing we knew was Communist Party is the best party in the world. Chairman Mao is the center of the world. But economically, it was quite backward. I would say in our middle school years, we pretty much, both family, got the first black and white TV. And it was made in Japan. In the 1980s, that's when Deng Xiaoping had the open world policy. That's when things really changed. And a different thinking started to emerge. And at the time, apparently going to America is the fashion. So we both tried to come to America. And I did succeed in 1985, and Holly followed 2 years later. When I come to America, the first thing I did was to continue with my field of study, which is physics, but going to grad school. And I've focused on superconductivity, which is kind of a mysterious project. I've been through the PhD program for 7 years, which is quite long. Part of the reason was it was really difficult to find a job with a degree in physics. After doing postdoc work at University of Illinois, I finally made the plunge and start to study computer science. Then throughout the working period, I would say all of these studies contribute to my capabilities in one way or another, which is quite unique, I would say, among all the co-workers, and I'm quite proud of that. As for culturally, the first impression was that Americans are really, really friendly. And we run into a white guy in the street of Minneapolis, and he came up to us and started to talk Chinese. He says, the Chinese food I really like is 牛食. At the time, the students, several guys, what was he saying? And finally, somebody figured out, do you mean beef tongue? And I said, yes. So that was quite funny. But the thing to demonstrate is that Americans are really, really friendly.
When we grew up in China, the first thing in school says 好好学习，天天向上. Translate to English, funny way, good study, day up. This is we have been taught and we have been doing. Parents, families, teachers' hopes is our hopes also. So we made their dream come true, and that's our dreams too. But in American, it looks different. What we were thinking is not really what our children are thinking. I want to give them all I can, all I want. I thought that's what they want, but turns out may not be true. So sometimes we have conflict, we fight.
Yes, I guess in educating Julia, her mom and I sometimes have different opinions. I would say I'm somewhat more Americanized. I kind of let her make many more decisions, but Mama tends to be more pushy, and sometimes it can get quite intense and not quite peaceful in the family. But overall, we definitely want our daughter to have the best, and do the best to give her the tool to succeed in the future. Well, through our lives, I would say that we stayed in America more than we stayed in China, roughly. The biggest change is actually the thinking. When we came to America, our idea was that the imperialist country is no good. We're only here to study the technology we're going to bring back to China and make China big and strong. But over the years, I would say I discovered more and more the two countries, the people are really the same. We wish both countries to be big and strong, not one way or another. If there's ever war happen between China and America, I think we'll be most puzzled or had a really big dilemma between us to pick which one to loyal to. So we really wish the two countries to be friendly, and we both develop big and strong.
From Mr. and Mrs. Yu's experience, we learn the cultural differences between China and the US, and how these differences influence their own life, especially their worldviews. We give our best wish to this family and hope every immigrant will have a good life in the US.